Hello, hello, it's Ruth here at Artful Stampin. So I'm filming the Christmas Stampathon now. So it's the 25th of the month that I'm releasing this video on. And this month's theme is to make the kind of sentiment, the focal point, the attraction, the main kind of focus of your card. And so what I've gone ahead and done is cut myself some different pieces of cardstock that measure 2.5 by 3 inches. And I'm going to be using the wonderful Counsellor Mighty God stamp, and I'm going to be stamping that onto all of them and then cutting it up somehow and putting them all back together again. So I've got an idea in my head, but not sure if it's going to work, but we'll see. So I think I may also have to use the retired stamp apparatus because I want to get kind of perfect positioning on this. If you don't have it, then the other option is that you could just stamp this out and then cut out the card around it, and to get it kind of fairly equal. We'll see. We'll see how it all goes. So I've decided to use Pebble Path ink, as to me it's the closest thing to black that we have in the Stampin' Up inks, and I want to line up this stamp so that it kind of fits into that 2.5 inch area that I mentioned. I think I'll place it there, and I'm going to put a little mark on my... Oh, I managed to get ink on there already. That's clever. I'm going to just do a mark there and there to make sure I line it up with that next time. There we go. Let's see how this works out. Beautiful. Okay, I'm happy with that. So now to do all the rest of these. I'm just going to keep stamping these, and I'll come back to you when all these are done. So here I have all my pieces, all lovely and stamped. So I've got 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12 different pieces. Now the idea was that I wanted to cut these up into sections and basically reassemble them, and yeah, find a way of doing it so that we end up with lots of really lovely colourful pieces. So I'm just trying to think whether or not I probably do need to cut a few of these together so that they all get cut in the same place. I think I know I can probably cut about 2 pieces of these at the same time. Now I'm looking at this and thinking it's going to be a bit tricky for me to cut it through there, so I'm just going to have to find where there's actually a good gap for me to cut it and then be able to reassemble it without it impacting too much. So definitely between Father and Prince of Peace. So I'm going to go with that, and then probably through there between Counsellor and Mighty God, and I think we might be able to get it through there as well. Oh, I can see this is going to be a bit tricky. Oh no, I'm going to turn it around because I've got more to handle on that side. Just got to make sure it's all nice and fitted. Oh, come on, stay. I might have to end up using some washi tape. Okay, there we go. All right, so let me just check that's done it correctly on both of those. Yes, it has. Fantastic. And yeah, so I'm basically going to go through all of these now and cut them up in exactly the same way, and then I'm going to come back to you and then start assembling it. I've got plans. I think I've got an idea. You know, we've got this, I think. All right, I'll see you in a minute. So my tip for cutting this section up is definitely to start at the top of the sentiment. So start with cutting "He shall be called," and then it leaves then a longer or a wider piece to be able to hold and position. So all my fumbling around at the beginning, basically I could have stopped, not had that problem if I turned it around. So just that's a tip for you. So I'm now going to cut myself a piece of strips of cardstock that measure 2 3/4 inches wide for me to start sticking these onto. And this I'm using pebbled path cardstock, because I use pebbled path for the sentiment. And again, I didn't really want the harsh black, so I really like this kind of like soft, almost pastel combination of colours that I've chosen in kind of like a rainbow order. And I wanted to see how it would look lining these all up. So I need a good glue ready to go, as in, when I say good glue, I mean one that's going to be flowing nicely. One with all the goobers pulled out of it. Anyway, so right, let's get started. Let me have this a little bit more in colour order. So I've got yellow, green, blue, purple, pink and peach, ready to kind of like go round in a circle. So I'm going to start at the bottom. Don't know why, I just think it might be a bit easier. And I'm going to just place some glue along here and start placing my piece. So I've got Prince of Peace to start off with. And I'm going to take Mighty God from, so this is Flirty Flamingo. Then the Lilac, this is Fresh Freesia. The next one. Yeah, trying to get it lined up. There we go. And then He Shall Be Called for the next one. Then Prince of Peace. So going back to the beginning now to stick that piece. And then Mighty God, Everlasting Father. Then back to the beginning. Oh no, not quite to the beginning, sorry. Wonderful Counselor. Then He Shall Be Called. Now, am I going to have enough space for the next bit? I'm just going to keep going. So I'm back to the end of the other one, but that's okay. Prince of Peace, Mighty God, Everlasting Father. Oh wow, that fits perfectly. Okay. I love that. Oh wow, look at that. All right, so I'm going to do another one now. So I'm going to stop there in terms of my assembling because I want to actually make this into a card now. And let me just have a quick measure. So it's 2 3/4 wide, which is about 7 centimeters. Sorry, it's I don't know what I'm saying. Right, I'm just going to grab some thick white cardstock, and I think I actually just want to cut this so that it fits completely onto the cardstock. So what you see is just that panel there, but then when you open it, you've got a nice white insert. So let's cut this exactly to what I've done. So it was 2 3/4. So I'm going to score there, fold it, back in, and cut again at 2 3/4. So I'm going to stick that on. So I know I'm mixing measurements, imperial and metric here, but in this situation it just kind of works. So because in the UK our cardstock is 21 centimeters in width, I've just left the length of that, so I haven't even had to measure that. It's just as it is, how it's come. Now if you're using a letter size cardstock, which is 8.5 by 11, you may need to just adjust how many of these pieces you can stick down. But anyway, the principle you have seen, and hopefully you can replicate that to fit whatever coloured, whatever size cardstock you have. So give that a really good burnish. Now I do have a new bone folder here, which I am going to use just to make sure everything is happy and stuck down. There we go. Lovely. So pleased with that. Right, I'm going to stick the other one down and finish off. So because this one has a little bit of a wider margin at the top, I'm just going to cut a very slim, thin amount off just to balance it up with the bottom of the card, like so. And there you have it, finished card. So I'm just going to carry on and make a few more of these, but thank you so much for joining me, and I do hope you've had some really fun inspiration from doing this. This is certainly a technique I'm going to try again because yeah, it's just really simple and effective, and just one stamp from one stamp set is just made to shine and just be a fabulous focal point for an unusual kind of modern Christmas card. Right, please do go and check out the link in the description, ready to go to the Facebook page and enjoy this challenge this month. Take care for now. Bye.